All right, what we're going to have to do too first today also is get new numbers here so I can call on people because we've had some people move out of the class, so I need to get some new numbers going. All right, so however you guys want to do it, go ahead, but I don't want to keep calling on numbers that are never here. So whoever wants to start with one or keep one, let's go.
I'll be 4.
Okay, I got 4.
I'll be 5.
I'll be 6.
7, Tim? 7, yep.
I'll be 8.
8.
I'll be 9.
9.
10.
11. We'll make,
Jared.
no.
Jay.
Who just went? Catherine, yep. What are you again, Sydney? 11. Hey, how you doing? 12. You're 12 now.
Okay.
All right, and then we'll make Catherine 13. And that should take care of, if not, somebody will be 14. All right, so we're up to 13. Okay, let's do this then. Let's get right to the nuts and bolts here. You just had a quiz on arithmetic sequences. Arithmetic, when you make sure you add the same number every time, right? Add the same number. I'm going to show you our last type of sequence today, which is called geometric. Hey, this is when I multiply the same number every time, all right? This is when I multiply the same number, all right? So arithmetic, I added. Geometric, I'm going to multiply. So take a look at my first one here. You got 14. Jake. All right, we got new numbers here. Catherine, 13. Jake, 14. All right,
If you don't mind. Okay, sorry. Some of the 3s in my head. So.
okay, so everyone good? We got all good. Got numbers now? Okay, we're on day 4. You guys that came in, we're on day 4. Geometric, multiply by a certain number. Multiply. So take a look at the sequence I have in example 1. 32, 8, and 2. In your own words, I just want your own words. What's the pattern? In your own words, what's the pattern? That's all I want to know. 32 to 8 to 2. What's the pattern in your own words here? 6. Divide by 4, which is correct. But when we say geometric now, I want to start talking multiplying only. Divide by 4, yes, Ryan, divide by 4. What's another name for divide by 4 when I talk multiplication, Nick? Multiply by a 4. So if you're dividing by a number, it's the same as saying multiplying by the reciprocal when you flip it. Okay, so I multiply by a 4th. Because I always want to talk multiply when I'm talking so this sequence is geometric. Can you guys on your own, using your calculators, find the next 3 terms? So find the 4th, find the 5th, and find the 6th. All right, so the 4th term, are you guys finding, what do I got here? 1/8? Yeah, 1/8? Or 1/2, right? 1/2. Then I have 1/8, right? And then I have 1 over 32. No? What's up?
Is it okay if we give decimal?
That's fine.
Okay.
The only thing that drives me nuts is writing a decimal that just goes on forever. All right, if you can change it into a fraction, change it in. But if it ends real quick, I'm fine with that. Everyone, all right, geometric. So you remember for arithmetic, we use this formula constantly on the formula sheet, right? We use that one on the formula sheet. Well, look below it now, everybody. Look below arithmetic. See where it says geometric sequence. So now we have a formula we're going to use constantly for any geometric sequence. So let's talk about that formula and what each piece means. As I write it down, we'll talk about each piece. I'm not changing the rules. What's A sub n mean? Any term but the first. Still the same. Any term but the first you can plug in there. A1, I don't think we need to discuss. That's the first term. Now here comes the new part. R, common ratio. It's anybody remember the difference, common difference from arithmetic? It's the same, but now I call it common ratio. That is what you multiply by. Do not write in there what you divide by, what you multiply by. And then the rest of it, as you can see on your formula sheet, n, that's whatever position this number is in the formula, in the sequence, minus 1. Everything means the same exact thing as it did for arithmetic, except now instead of a d value, I have an r value, what I multiply by. Any comments you want to throw at me about this new geometric formula? You got one for arithmetic, and now you have one for geometric, neither of which you have to memorize, because you'll have that sheet. All right, let's use it. Let's dive right in here and let's use it. Find the 17th term. 17th term of this geometric sequence. Oh, it's geometric. I go to my formula sheet. th term. So what am I looking for? A with a subscript of 17. Here we go. Let's see if people can help me out here. 6 again. First term. 1/16. Oh, all right. Everyone ready? How about an R value? An R value. What I'm multiplying by here. What am I multiplying by? Oh, 6. Triples. That's not a good one. 4. Okay, everybody stop. Everyone please stop. This was an easy one to find because it's like, oh, 4 times 4 gives me 16. But what if you're looking at a sequence and you're like, I have no idea what I'm multiplying by. I know it's geometric, no idea what I'm multiplying by. Here's a trick. Use it anytime you need it. How do you figure out what you're multiplying by? Take any term in the sequence. Take any term in the sequence. So let me take 16. And if you want to figure out what you're multiplying by, divide it by the term before that. That's how you can always figure out what you're multiplying by. All right, so take any term, divide it by the previous. You will always figure out what your R value is. What am I raised? What's the N value here? Oh, the N only, N value only. 17 minus 1, all right? Now, me personally, I would just plug this all in the calculator all at once. Just make sure if you're trying to do it piece by piece, though, you do your exponent first. Don't multiply 4 and 1/16 first. Do your exponents first. I need to get my answer key. And yeah, it's a big number. Don't get freaked out. Hey, don't get freaked out by it. What are you multiplying by every time? By 4. This thing's going to get big pretty quick. And I'm looking for the 17th term. So this makes sense here. 268 million. Don't get freaked out. You're multiplying by 4. That thing's going to get big very quickly. All good? All right. Number 2. Whoa, just stop. I want to talk to you before we do number 2. Wednesday, you got a test. And on that test, I may not come out and say, this is geometric. This is an arithmetic problem. You're going to have to decide for yourself. So I know it's geometric day, but number 2, what is telling you I'm working with a geometric sequence up there, Jake? R value. There's only one thing that has an R value, and that's geometric. Great job. All right, second thing with this problem. What am I looking for here? At the end of this problem, what am I looking for? I didn't come out and say, like here at the above, I said, hey, find the 17th term. I'm just giving you notation here. But using that notation, you should tell me in your own words, what am I looking for here, Nick? 6th term. Why the 6th term? And 6? find a sub n. So find a6. All right, that n value is 6. So I'm looking for the sixth term. So a6 equals, help me fill it in. Who's up? Oh, a 4-bagger here. Very rare. Everyone noticing this right now. Can we take a moment to soak this in? 4-bagger right now. A 4-bagger. Unbelievable. That is a rare moment right now. Remember that. October 6th. With 6. Unbelievable. It just keeps happening. Just keeps happening. All right, anyway. Nobody cares. I know. First term. 5. R value. All right, Ryan, here we go. What am I raising it to? What's the n value? An n minus 1. 6. There you go. $1,215. Any questions, comments? All right, this was nice, right? That was fun. Just find any term. But now let's play around with this formula even more now. Let's use this formula to find the first term. All right, let's find the first term. I know the 8th term is 20. R value is 1/2. Find the first term. All right, so let's talk. A1, R to the n minus 1. And now we're going A1. All right, we're going to go A. So that means I need to plug in everywhere else but A1. All right, here we go. Do we go to the rare 5? Nope, sorry. 10? Who's got 10?
I do.
Okay, ready, Nick? I got to plug something in for AN, and that's any term but the first. You know what term?
20.
Okay, so everyone comfortable? I'm plugging in 20 there. Any term but the first. A1's going to stay A1. How about the R value? 8? 1/2. Raised. What do I have to plug in for that n now? That relates to the 20. What am I plugging in for the n value? 5? 8. Good. The 20 is the 8th term, minus 1. All right, let's go to work. You guys are doing great today. Awesome. Are you guys leaving this as a decimal or keeping with fractions? Fractions? What do you get with 1/2 to the 7th? 1 over 128?
Yeah.
Okay. What are you doing with that to get it over the other side now? Because I need A1 by itself. So what are you doing with 1 over 128, Jake?
Divide it.
Divide it. Yep.
Is that the same as multiplying by 128?
Darn right it is, superstar. You got it. You just asked me that to show off. You knew the answer already. No, you just did that. No, you just did that to show off. Yep. What do you got? What do you got to me?
I just had it in decimal.
That's fine. If you want to leave it as a decimal, do you know how to get back to a fraction?
Yeah.
Press your math button. Fraction. All right. Some kids never know that, and you've been devastated all your life because of that. Teachers in the past never showed you that, man. That's a disservice to you. Anything? Finding the first term. All right, just like we did with arithmetic, and maybe you didn't pick up on it, and that's fine. We'll pick up on it now. Now I want an equation for the nth term. If I'm asking for an equation for the nth term, that means anytime I see n, guess what? It stays n. All right, anytime I see n, it stays n, but I plug in for anything else. So here's geometric sequence number 1. Left side, you're not touching it. N, when you're writing equation for the nth term, wherever I see an N, you're staying N. Equals, all right, can I get help filling in the rest? 12. A1? 5. How about that R value too? Times 5 raised to the N is N minus 1. Now we got to talk here. Remember the PEMDAS? I don't know even if they do PEMDAS anymore. Remember those days? What came first, exponents or multiplication? Well, parentheses did, but then followed by exponents, then followed by multiplication. Why do I bring that up? You're done. You can't do 5 times 5 because this isn't really a 5. It's 5 raised to the n minus 5. So you cannot multiply those. Do not try to be a hero, superstar, or a stud. You are done. Okay? You cannot multiply the a, the 1, and the r value. You're done. So that's the equation for the nth term. Stop. Like you guys find it, and it's like, all right, this is how you find it, and I'm done. I'm really more concerned with what can you do with it now. So if I just said, hey, everybody, find the 150th term after you just did this, you take 150, plug it in for n, and you got the 150th term. That's what and this is what that does for you. All right, it can find any term in the sequence just by plugging in that number. All right, so I wanted to show you what you're actually finding. All right, part B, where we're going to run into a problem. You know the fourth term and you know the R value. All right, so here we go. We'll start with our formula off the formula sheet. N stays N, no shock. What are we going to run into? Problem, guys, ladies? Tim, you got a problem?
We need to find the first.
Yeah. I can't do this formula unless I have the first term. So we're going to have to take a timeout. All right, we need to take a timeout, off to the side, figure out how we're going to find the first term. Because you just can't leave it. Yeah, you just can't do this. I don't know it, so I'm just going to write A1. No, you need to plug in a number for that. You just can't leave it A1. So I'm going to have to take a timeout and go off to the side and try to figure out a way to find A1. Try to figure out a way to find A1. We just did it. Right? Wasn't that problem number 3? You guys found A1? All right, so same thing. So go off to the side right now. Use the formula again, but now use it to find A1. Don't give up. You know how to find it. All right, who's with me on this one? 11. Ready to roll? Do you know any other term in the sequence but the first? Any term in the sequence but the first? 3. Plug it in. Good job. Still with me here, Cindy. A1, we don't know. What's your R value? 8 times, what should I be plugging in for that N if I plugged in 3 here? 4. It's the fourth term. Perfect. Great job. Now you can find A1. Guys are rolling here today. I love it. 3 over 512, right? Is it 3 over 512? All right. Memory goes short circuit sometime from class to class. Now get rid of it. Divide both sides by 3 over 512. Or Clayton, hey, what could I multiply both sides by? Oh! Oh, all right. Thought I had you on that one. Thought I had you. Yep. What?
How did you get the 3 over 512?
I don't know, because that's the final answer. I don't know how I got that, to be honest. I was getting way ahead. I just noticed that myself. Thanks for correcting me. I'll remember that on your test next week when I'm correcting it. That's 512, right? That should be 512. Then I divide both sides. See, karma, Clayton. You see that?
Yeah.
That's karma on me.
Let's go. Bounce back.
Yeah, I believe in karma. Yep. That's what just happened with me. That's not my final answer. All right. Sorry, guys. 3 over 512. Even the great ones make mistakes. Remember that. Now I plug that back into A1. R is 8. N stays N. And again, just like our previous problem, you cannot multiply the first and the R value. Anything else? I'm finding the nth term before we have to read, unfortunately. All right, a little balloon problem here. We're going to fill it with some helium. 5,000 cubic centimeters of helium. And every day it's going to lose a fourth of it. Can you guys write a little sequence for me that shows, hey, this is key. Can you write a sequence for me that shows how much the amount of helium in the balloon that's left? Okay, not how much it's losing, how much is left in the balloon. So here we go. Let's start our sequence off. Day 1, 5,000. It says write a sequence for the first 5 days. I'll get out my calculator with you guys. How do I figure out now how much helium's left on day 2? I know I have 5,000 on day 1, and it loses a quarter every time. Any suggestions? What do I do with that 5,000? Multiply by 1/4. I like it. That's not my second term, though. It's not ready. That 1250 is the amount I lose. My sequence represents the amount that's left. So what do I need to do with the 1250? 5,000 minus 1250. Here's how much helium's left. 3,750. So there's term 2. Going too fast, all right? This is the sequence represents how much is left, it says. All right, let's keep going. What about the next one? 3,750 times 1/4. But again, this is going to tell me how much it loses. So I take that fraction or decimal if you have a decimal in front of you. And that's how much is left. Do I really want to write that? Or should I write it as a decimal? I like the decimal version. You can write that if you want. I'm going to write the decimal version of it. 2,812.5. And then you guys can take it from here to find the last 2 days of helium. And here's what I have for my last 2 terms. 2,109.375. And then 1,582.03125. Yeah. Go ahead, Clayton.
How did you turn 2,812.5 into a fraction?
Okay, into a fraction.
I meant decimal.
Okay, so here you go. I got a fraction up here that I wanted to turn into a decimal. You got a math button right here. And then the second choice is turn anything you need to into a decimal. And it should turn it into a decimal for you.
Okay,
All right.
thank you.
Yeah.
So
All good? All right, last part, which is the part I'm concerned about. Let's write an equation that represents the nth term of this sequence up here now. Okay, there's your geometric sequence. Let's write an equation that represents the nth term. So we've already talked about this. We did 2 problems with it already. N stays n. Ready? An, first term was 5,000. Ooh, here we go. What do I plug in for r? No, it's not a fourth, right? Because look, it's what I'm multiplying by to go from 5,000 to 3,750. And I don't multiply by a fourth to get there because remember, you multiplied by a fourth and subtracted it from the previous. So it's not, this is 5,000 times a fourth is not 3,750. Remember the trick I gave you? Take a term, divide by the previous. What are you actually multiplying by here? Not a fourth. 10, what are we actually multiplying by?
3/4.
3/4. Yep. Hey, hey, real quick. If I take away a fourth, 25%, how much is still left? 75%. 3/4. Yep. Raised to the n minus 1. Don't you dare multiply the 3/4 and 5,000. How are we feeling about this geometric stuff? What's up, big boss?
Isn't it 4/3?
If I multiply, ready? If I multiply 5,000 by 4/3, a number that's bigger than 1, this number is going to be bigger than 5,000.
Oh.
Where are you getting the 4/3? Because if you do 5,000 times 4/3, it's going to be a number bigger than 5,000.
I got 5,000 divided by 3, 750 equals 1.3 repeated. And then in the fraction.
Which, no. You got to do a term divided by the previous.
Oh, okay.
Okay, not a term divided by the next one. Term divided by the previous. Good? Anything else? Okay, last thing, and we did this for arithmetic. Remember doing this for arithmetic? I got 26, blank, 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 I don't know, 55. Find the 3 terms in the middle. We can do the same thing now for geometric. But instead they're called geometric means, not arithmetic. So here you go. First term is 3. And you know the fourth term is 24. What about the 2 in the middle? We did this for arithmetic, but now we're going to do it for geometric. What are those 2 terms in the middle without guess and checking? Without guess and checking. What's it going to be nice to know here? What value do I need to figure out to find those 2 middle ones if it's geometric? Like, what do I multiply by, right? What am I multiplying by? And we gave that a name today, which is common ratio, R value. So let's get it using the formula. Let's figure out the R value. All right, going to need a little help substituting numbers in with number 14. AN, any term but the first.
24.
24. Want to keep rolling here with me? First term? 3 times R, which I'm trying to figure out. Okay, remember, the 24 and this n are going to have something in common here. What's this n going to be? What spot is 24 in the sequence?
4.
Fourth term, minus 1. Good. I don't know if you've used this button or not in Algebra 2 last year, but we'll figure it out now. 3r to the third. What's your next move algebraically? Divide by 3. Good, Catherine. Yep, divide by 3. R to the third equals 8. All right, now if that was a squared, R squared, you take the square root. Now that it's to the third, I take what's called the cube root. Correct. Let's talk about where that's located on your calculator. Some of you may already know. If not, no big deal. Here it goes. I think there's another way to get to it, but I go under math. And everyone see number 4? Cube root? There you go. Okay, so I go under math to get it. It might be somewhere else you could get it quicker, but that's where I live. So cube root of 8 is 2. Now use that 2 to find the two means in between. And those two means in between, when you get them, let me know. 7. My R value is 2. What do you got, Tim? What do you got? The two numbers in the middle.
6 and 12.
Great job, Kim. 6 and 12. All right, the only reason I'm going to do one more with you is because I want you to know where to go on the calculator when it gets to this point. So now 3 means in between those two numbers. 3 means in between 3.12 and 49.92. So now I'm looking for 3 in between. I just want to make sure we're clear where to go on the calculator in case I ever gets to this point. All right, need the R value just like I did in the last part. So can somebody help me substitute in some values? 1, AN, term but the first.
49.92.
Okay, perfect. First term, Amanda?
3.12.
Yep. R raised to the, what's your N value here?
4.
Yep. What, 4? Where did 49.92?
5.
5, good. All right, kids, here we go. Is everyone dividing by 3.12 first? And what's that, 16? Yeah? Equals R raised to the 4th. All right, well, how do I get that 4 out of there? You can take the square root. You can take the cube root. Now you can take the 4th root or the 5th or the 6th or the 7th. Doesn't matter. Take the 4th root. Now, how do I do that on the calculator? We're going to go to the same place you just got the cube root. So everyone go to math. And everyone see number 5? Number 5 says you can plug in any root you want. So even if you wanted to use that for the cube root, you can use it too. So you can plug in any root you want right there on the math number 5. And your R value ended up being 2 again. So go ahead and multiply all those by 2. I'll do it as well. 6.24, 12.48, and 24.96. All good? Okay. You can either go to your Chromebook, because it's all the textbook tonight. Go to your Chromebook or get a book up here now. Go ahead. We've still got time. This bad boy in here, what's it, 4th period? We got time. Get a couple problems done.